Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gabriel Torres, and I am a certified arborist with Bare Nature Tree Surgeons. You might remember us from some of the plantings that we have done through Rainbow Gardens. We are the company that goes out and does the plantings for them. And here we're here at the nursery at the property, and we have a Monterrey oak here that was planted about 2 years ago. It was a 30-gallon container, and it's about time to give it its first haircut or its first structure pruning. At this point, the things that we look for are branches that are rubbing and crossing. That way we can eliminate those while the tree is young to prevent that from having to remove large branches as the tree matures or as it reaches maturity. So some of the tools that you will need for a common structure prune or to prune your younger trees like this would be a nice sharp handsaw. This is a handsaw or a silky specifically. Since it is an oak tree, all of the cuts should be painted to prevent oak wilt. So we use just your common black spray paint. Anytime we make a cut, we paint the cut, and that way it's not so much of a sealant, but it's to mask the scent of the wound to prevent oak wilt. Nothing too fancy or specific about it, just painting the cuts. The requirements are quarter size and larger should be painted. However, we just try to paint everything as we go through it to be 100% safe. Other than a paint can and a handsaw, a pair of loppers or hand pruners might be efficient and necessary. For us, we typically use most of the time pole tools like this. This would be a pole pruner. This would be a pole saw. A lot of the time, from your big box stores, you can buy a combination of this where it has a pole saw and a pruner, and that's the most common tool that a homeowner may have. So we kind of start, by making the smaller cuts with a handsaw or with pruners, and then if there's a larger diameter cut, that's when the pole saw comes in handy, or of course if you can't reach it and it's a little higher up. So now that we have that kind of described and explained, we can talk about what to prune on a tree like this of this size. On this tree, a very common mistake that I see or that happens is that folks will remove too many of the lower branches too soon. Trees like this, it's only been in the ground 2 to 3 years, so we want to be minimal with what we cut, at the same time have a purpose to be removing a branch. So most people would be inclined to remove these entire bottom branches. It's not quite time for that. Instead, what we're doing once again is to look for branches with poor structure. Here's a classic one. You can see it has a very poor union or attachment method. And as it grows, it's going to intertwine with this other branch, which is a nice, healthy one. So I look for damage or weak unions like that. So that will be coming off. This small branch, it's actually dead. So that gets pruned off because it's a dead branch. Over here, we can see this branch I would also consider poor structure. It's going to grow into the other branches as it grows. So those are the main ones that you start with. It's to look for the rubbing, crossing branches and eliminate those. But once again, it's not quite time to remove these big branches. As the tree grows in height and diameter, let's say in about 5 to 7 years, at that point it might be time to remove these branches entirely, because the canopy will have grown up at the top and it'll be much bigger. So that will give us the adequate size to be able to prune a little more heavy in that manner. So with that kind of explained, now I'll take my handsaw and we'll start removing some of those branches. Once again, pretty small dead branch here, so we just come close to the collar without cutting into the trunk. You definitely don't want to damage the trunk, so we just kind of come right here and we give it a couple of swipes. You can see it's nice and close to the trunk, but not cutting into the main trunk. And then we have that poor structure one down here as well. This can be cut right there, trying to be gentle with the surrounding branch. You can see how that was already rubbing and crossing in there. Eventually it turns into, it looks like a pretzel. At least that's how I describe it, when the branches become completely intertwined. And at some point they actually end up grafting as the tree matures. Those grafts, however, can be weak unions or weak points where the branches break in storms and weather events. So we continue looking for those poorly structured, like this guy here. If we allow it to grow, it would grow into these other branches. So we're going to remove that guy. Those are the interior ones. Once again, very minimalistic. And then we are going to grab our paint and make sure we get those painted up. Other than the interior rubbing and crossing branches, the other thing we want to select for, this is a little more specific, a little more technical, but it's worth mentioning. The strongest structure for a tree is a central upright trunk and structure. Here we can see we have kind of a major union. Eventually, this we would consider codominant stems, where there's 1 and 2. And as a tree gets larger and larger, this might become a weak union, where this, as it grows in diameter, will start to push against this one. So we don't want to eliminate the whole branch, because once again, that would be excessive for the size of the tree. But what we do instead is, because this is prone to be a weak union in the future, we're going to reduce the tip of it. And once again, this is a little more technical, a little more specific. You can always consult with your arborist or with your nursery. But if you kind of see from afar, you can see this left side, it's competing for dominance with the central part of the tree. So this is when we take our pole pruner, we grab this guy, and now once again, we don't want to eliminate the entire branch, but we can reduce it. And we always want to find a lateral branch to cut to, like these hairs here, these branches. So we would just reduce the height of that stem by about 2 feet, 3 feet would be appropriate. So there we suppress, it's called suppressing that codominant or leader. And you can see we're selecting for the central structure. That way the tree can grow with the most adequate and safe structure. So you can see we reduce that one, and I see one more on the back side that we can reduce as well. We got that guy. You can see how the shape is beginning to favor that central leader or structure. So I'm happy with the overall structure at the top now. Now we have selected for the central leader. Now we just want to double check, see if we're missing anything. This branch, it's quite low, and it's growing into the walkway and into the T-post there. So I wouldn't get carried away removing too many of these, but here's a good example of probably the only cut that can be made of bigger diameter. And once again, typically for a bigger branch like this, we would start by cutting about 2 inches away from the trunk. So if I cut 2 inches, then I have the ability to make my proper cut without risking tearing it or damaging it. So once I took off the weight, now I can make my proper cut. So I come here close to the trunk, once again without cutting into it, and I make my proper cut there. So that is the biggest branch that should be removed at this moment. Other than that, I'm happy with it. It's probably going to need another pruning in about 2 years as it fills out, as the branches become longer. But for now, it's a pretty small tree, so that's about as much as should be done at the moment. If you have any comments or questions, please reach out to us in Rainbow Garden, and we'll see you in the future.